Okay, guys, so this is how I make my quick fried pies. We do the store-bought pie crusts in the refrigerator section. I use canned fruits, whatever you prefer. Today I've got apple and cherry. So I just buy a can of it. It's going to come prepared for apple pies, and so when you put it in there, I just take a butter knife and just go through it and chop them up to smaller pieces. So yeah, so I've got the small, the medium, and the large. It is the Progressive Prep Works dough press set, and I got it on Amazon, and I'll try to put the link down below, so if you want you can order it. But if you don't have that, you can just use whatever you have on hand. Cookie cutters, biscuit cutters, rings off of jars, just whatever. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you have on hand. So I've cut this one out. You just take, how I did it, you just take the bottom of this and press down. And there you have the pie crust. So you're going to put it in the press, lining it up. Take your filling, try to go like almost to the middle. Try not to overfill it because it'll ooze out. And then you just, let me get some water. All right. So you just take your finger, get it wet with this. Okay. Dampen one side of it and press. And there you have an apple pie ready for frying. Let's do another one. So yeah, guys, sometimes people just don't have time, or they're just not comfortable yet with making their own pie crust, making their own pie fillings. But you could definitely do it. You can do, maybe make your own pie crust and buy the store-bought fruit. There's no right or wrong way to do this. So just whatever you're comfortable with. And then squeeze it. Now I'm using the medium size. I don't know if I said that or not, but there's your pie for frying. And you just keep doing that until you use up all the dough. And then you put a little bit of grease in a pan. Don't get it super duper hot. I don't know, about 350 or so, I would think. And fried a golden brown. It probably takes about 2 or 3 minutes per side. And And then we're going to do the glaze. I'll show you the glaze that I make for them. I like mine a little thin. I don't like a heavy glaze on mine because the apples are already sweet enough. So do it like that. Get your water. Okay. Fold over, squeeze. Perfect pie. So just do that until you run out of dough. And you can use, I've used the small ones and they work perfect. But my husband just prefers, now that I've made the mediums, he's preferred the mediums over the small. And it's just personal preference, I guess. The big one I would use for like savory pies, meat pies. You can do breakfast pies. Use biscuits instead of pie crust. Put you some scrambled eggs and sausage in it, or bacon. If you use biscuits, you could put gravy in it and fry it, and then have biscuits and gravy. So get this all, now that I've done that. So you just redo your dough. Just roll it out. And try to get it to the thickness of the original pie crust. It'll be better. It won't, if you get it too thick, it'll be doughy inside. And then if you get it too thin, it could rip. So try to get it as close to the thickness of the original as possible. Move that. Just keep rolling it out. And if you don't have a rolling pin, you can use a jar, a cup, one of these. Just put a little flour on it, roll it. You don't have to have all this equipment to do it. It's getting there. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is simple. It's quick, it's easy, and it is good. You wouldn't think buying store-bought ingredients would be good, but it's good. It really is. When you can't or don't want to do everything by hand, do it homemade, this is an awesome second. So, I mean, nothing's going to be as good as homemade, but this is pretty darn good. Alright, so I think I got it about as thick as I need it. We're going to take our cutter again. Take it. Put some filling in it. And so when I was trying this out, for the first time. I didn't have high hopes about it, flavor-wise. And I was pleasantly pleased with the flavor, the outcome of it. Because I am so used to making everything homemade. And see that one? I need to redo because I didn't have it centered. Try that again. So see, you can fix your mess ups, and if that don't work, you can just take a fork. Let me get a fork. And just mash it. And just seal it up that way. And if you don't have these cutters, you know, just use a fork. Cut it out with whatever you have on hand and use a fork to seal it. Just wet the dough a little bit with your finger. And voila, we have a pie. So I'm going to try to get 5 out of this one. So the package comes with 2 pie crusts. So that would probably get you 10 pies, depending on the size. Now, if you're using the bigger ones, you won't. And if you use the smaller ones, you'll get more. So it all depends on how big they are. And I would think that the small one would be used for kids' size. You can make them breakfast, you can make them meat pies, just whatever, you know, and that way there's no waste, because, you know, kids most of the time don't eat everything, so you can make the small ones. And then you just roll it, roll it. Let's see, maybe getting it too thin. That's a little thick. All right. A little bit more. There. That should be good. All right. So you just get your, well, probably need to make it a little bit bigger. I don't think it's going to fit. So, and if your last one isn't big enough for the cutter you're using, you can just do a smaller one. And then if you want, you can keep this and roll it up with the next roll of dough. I just keep it in cellophane in the icebox until I need it. That way there's no waste. And so this one is a little thick, but I think it's going to be all right. So we'll make a small cherry. Make sure that's going to fit on there. Okay. But yeah, guys, like I said, I was really surprised at how good these were. I mean, I really didn't expect much out of them because it was store-bought, but man, did it surprise me. Wet it, and don't get it too wet or it won't stick. Oops, I got that one too full. All right, and that happens. It's no big deal. No big deal at all. You just clean it off. Of course, I went a little overboard, but it happens. Ooh. All right, so let me get another one. that's part of the homemade part. So, just do it like that. Try to clean this off so it'll seal. And see if it'll seal this time. Yep, it's sealed. Alright. So that's okay. But that is your small cherry. And then now, all you have to do is fry them up. So that's what we're going to do next, guys. Be right back. Okay, guys. So, I just use Crisco. You can use whatever you want. But, for frying, I prefer either lard or Crisco. Not oil. But, I mean, it's your kitchen. You do what you want to do. So, just get this melted and heated up. And I use a small pan just to do a couple at a time. You can use a big one if you want. I just don't like to have to worry about several of them at one time. That way I don't have one go over and be darker because I had so many of them that I needed to keep an eye on at once. So let me get this heated up and we'll be right back. Okay, guys. So the way I test to see if it's hot enough, I just take a tiny piece of dough, put it in there, and it is not quite there yet. So turn it up a little bit, because you don't want it to be saturated with grease. You want it to get in there and get cooked and get out, and not just lay there in grease, not cooking, because it's going to soak up a lot of grease. Alright, so that looks about ready. It's starting to fry, so, alright, so we'll put that right there, and we will start putting our pies in. Put them in gently so you don't splash. And just adjust the fire as you need it. Don't let it get too hot or too cold. Let me see. So you just let them cook for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, depending on your fire. And so I'd wait about 2 minutes, check them. See if I can move you over here and let you see it without making you dizzy. Can you see that, guys? So that's about what you want. So let me get these fried up and I'll be back. Okay, guys, can y'all see that? See how golden brown it is? So, oops, sorry guys. Okay, so we're fixing to take them out. You just put them on here. There you go. Ooh, hot. All right, and then we're going to put 2 more in there. All right. So let's get these others fried up, and then we'll be back and I'll show you how to make the glaze. Okay guys, so we've got it cooked. We've got 5 of them, 4 mediums, 1 small. We're going to take powdered sugar, which I buy in bulk. Let me get a bowl. I'm going to get a bowl. I'm going to get a spoon. We're just going to, I don't measure. I just put some powdered sugar in there. Then I get vanilla, which I make my own homemade vanilla. And just put a little bit, maybe 2 teaspoons, depending on how much powdered sugar you have in here. And then we're going to add a little milk. Just a little bit. Now I don't like my drizzle, I like it to be a drizzle, actually. I don't like it thick, so you can definitely add butter, melted, or not melted, but softened butter to this. But I have found that these taste so buttery that it is not needed. A little bit more. So I just keep that out. And just mix it until you get the consistency that you want. And the hotter they are, if you have a thick glaze, it will thin out because of the heat. So if you don't want it to all run off, let it sit for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes. and cool off a little bit. So it's a little bit thicker than I like, but like I said, when you put it on hot apple pies, it will just, for the most part, run off. And you don't have to, if you have them set right, you don't have to separate them to ice them. The icing just runs down. But like I said, it's your kitchen. You do the way you want to do it. There's no right way or wrong way. There's just your way. Alright, so that looks about good, guys. What do y'all think? Do you think it's a keeper? Okay guys, so this is the end result. I don't know if you can tell, but this does have a light glaze on it. For me, it's perfect. But if you don't want it that thin, just let them cool and then put your glaze on it and it'll be thicker. But this is exactly the way I like them. So, perfect for me. So I hope you try this, guys. See you on the next one.